YouTubers, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. And thank you for watching Cooper's Thai Adventures. Welcome back, and today I am on the corner of Jomtien Beach Road on the bot bus route. So I'm just going to pan the camera around, and as you can see, here comes a bot bus right here in front of me. So I'm going to be taking a walk today from the Jomtien Pattaya Beach sign here all the way down to the bottom of Prachamak, because I've mentioned in several videos that we've done in Prachamak that it is an easy walk from there to here to get onto the bot bus. And while I'm walking, I've got a couple of interesting topics that I'd like to talk to you about. But first off, I'd like to give a shout out to all of our subscribers. Thank you all so very much for joining Cooper's Thai Adventures. We're at over 3,400 subscribers and very close to 3,500. So we owe it to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for supporting our channel. And if you're new to the channel, please hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button. It doesn't cost you a penny. It is absolutely free. I know YouTube calls it subscribe. They should call it show me more, but it is what it is. And I'm just going to walk over here by the police station to the map so you can see where we are. So here we are at the map, and we're at the corner just over here where it says you are here. And this is the corner that the bot bus turns on and then comes up here to the traffic lights and goes left towards Pattaya here. And we're going to walk around this area here to Prachamak Hill just to show you how close it is. So today's topic is all about what are my honest thoughts of Thailand. But before I get into my topic of what are my honest thoughts of Thailand, I'd like to give you a little bit of background information about me. And a little bit of background information about me is I first came to Thailand in the early 2000s. And came here on vacation like quite a lot of other people have done from our channel. And I met a Thai woman. Well, through a mutual friend, by the way, and ended up falling in love, you know, the old story, and got married. Well, we were married for just over 10 years, and I lived here in Thailand for 6 of those 10 years. And did a lot of work from home, a lot of work online. I worked for the United States Department of Defense, and during that time, and also was in the Army in Iraq and Afghanistan, and also as a defense contractor. So a lot of my work that I did was on the computer and in the logistics side of things, doing the reports, and working with Microsoft Office, Excel, PowerPoint, and so forth, giving presentations. So I had a lot of free time on my hands, hence why I was able to stay in Thailand for 6 years. And it wasn't a solid 6 years, it was going back and forth, of course. But that was the total time. And then marriage didn't work out for obvious, well, not so obvious reasons for you, but for me. And I'm not going to say anything bad about my ex-wife. You know, things don't work out. I gave it my best. I gave it 10 years, the best 10 years of my life, you know, my youth, and didn't work out. So anyways, that was the end of that story. And while I was in Kuwait, single, I met my now wife, Darlene. So she was working over there as a nanny, and I was working as a defense contractor at Camp Arifjan, Kuwait, which is an army base. And we were there for several years, and we got married there. Well, I had a bad accident in Kuwait, and the doctor told me, hey Cooper, you're never going to work again. Your working career is over with. I damaged quite a bit of my neck, C6 and C7 section, which is the load-bearing part of your neck, which is why quite often you'll see me walking with my head down, because it gets painful from time to time to walk with my head up. I damaged my rotator cuff and my right shoulder, and also tore 80% of my biceps tendon in my right arm. So my right arm is kind of useless, and it's a difficult part of my life because I'm right-handed, so I have to learn to do everything left-handed. It's not an easy task, I'll tell you. But anyways, because I can no longer work, we had to leave Kuwait. And it was during the height of COVID, so the States was closed, England was closed, you know, Philippines was closed. Quite a lot of countries were closed during that time. So Darlene and I had one choice, and that choice was to come to Thailand because they just opened a sandbox scheme. Some of you may or may not remember. About 3 years ago, they opened a sandbox scheme, and we were both able to go there and stay in Phuket, which was one of the two islands that was a sandbox scheme, that and Koh Samui. And providing that you had 3 negative PCR tests, you could then travel around Thailand. So we were doing that while I was applying for my retirement visa for the Philippines. And, you know, we were told that it was going to take a very long time to get my retirement visa, as we needed something that was called the EED. EED, I think, if I'm right, Darlene will probably put a banner up and correct me, as I keep forgetting what the actual title is. I think it's an emergency entry document is what it stood for those that wanted to come to Thailand, Philippines and retire. And while we're in Phuket, Darlene absolutely fell in love with Thailand. But before we came here, while we were in Kuwait discussing where we were going to live, she was absolutely adamant that she had no desire to go to Thailand. You know, she didn't hear anything good about Thailand, didn't know much about it, but it didn't appeal to her. Well, when we got here and we got to we got to Phuket, all that changed. After just 1 week, she fell in love with the country, and she said, hey Cooper, let's retire in Thailand. Let's not go to the Philippines. She'd loved it that much. And we'd found a nice 2-bedroom pool villa that we were gonna rent in Phuket, and it was very cheap. It was like $300. Well, at the time it was during COVID, so people were slashing prices left, right, and center. And I guarantee you, we wouldn't find that same place for the same prices we did back then, as everything's gone up. As Thailand's pretty much back to normal now, as with the rest of the world. So that's a little bit of background about Darlene and I, and you know, our first trip into Thailand. Well, anyways, what happened was about a week later, we got an email from our agent that was dealing with the PRA in the Philippines. That's the Philippine Retirement Authority. And she said, by the way, great news, your EED is now ready to pick up at the Philippine Embassy in Bangkok. And Darlene and I were a bit bummed because we thought we were going to end up spending a couple months in Thailand. And we'd already got visas from the Thai Embassy in Kuwait. And Darlene got the tourist visa, which gave her, you know, 90 days, I believe it was, or the multiple entry. I can't remember which. It was quite a few years ago. And we'd already put the deposit down on the pool villa, and we were excited about staying there. It was absolutely beautiful and dirt cheap. But, you know, Darlene's kids are in the Philippines, and they were really missing Mama, and Mama was missing the kids. So we did the right thing. We went to the Philippine embassy, got my EED, and ended up spending 3-4 days in Bangkok, and then flew into the Philippines, where we stayed for almost 2 years before deciding that, you know, we really missed Thailand, and it just had so much more to offer and ticked more of the boxes than what the Philippines did for us. And I'm not putting the Philippines down, by no means. It's just we preferred Thailand. You know, it's just one of those things. You know, do you prefer Ford or do you prefer Toyota? You know, it's just a personal preference. So that's a bit about our background. And now we've been in Thailand since March, so over 6 months now. And I'd like to give you my personal thoughts. Some people have said in the comments, hey Cooper, what makes you an expert on Thailand? Well, I'm no expert. I don't claim to be an expert. I was just married to a Thai for 10 years, lived here for 6 years the first time, and now lived here for just over 6 months the second time. So I'm just speaking from my personal experiences. And in the 6 months that I've been in Thailand, my personal experiences and Darlene's personal experiences are, in our honest opinion, it's an absolutely beautiful country. But there are some downsides, I gotta tell you. The heat here is beautiful, it's lovely, but the humidity tends to get a lot of people. And in our experiences with our subscribers coming out here is they're coming out here and they're loving how everything is so cheap. They go out and have a few drinks, but they forget to drink plenty of water. And one thing that doesn't mix, of course, is alcohol and heat and humidity. So, you know, it's not a pleasant experience. One of our subscribers came out. We took him out with us for the day, and he'd actually passed out. I passed out cold because of the humidity. And luckily we're at the church with some good Christians that one of our subscribers, Mr. Wash, invited us to go. And they were so friendly, so a big shout out to them. Thank you for all the help that you gave our subscriber. I'm not going to put his name out on the channel. I don't embarrass anybody. And, you know, they couldn't have been more helpful. We got him, you know, sat down with his feet elevated, put a cloth over his head, you know, with cold water on it. Got him plenty of water to drink. You know, I think I gave him maybe 6 to 10 cups of water to drink. And he was quite embarrassed about it. Well, don't be embarrassed, buddy. You're not the only one to make that mistake. A lot of people have made that mistake before, you know, of just not thinking, you know, hey, I'm out here, it's beautiful hot weather, and I'm enjoying it. Nice, a few ice cold beers or whatever else that you're drinking. And then all of a sudden, your body gets dehydrated. And what happens when the body gets dehydrated? It gives you a warning sign. It shuts down and you pass out. So that's one of the things you got to be aware of when you come to Thailand. Drink plenty of water, you know. And I think they recommend that you should drink 3 to 5 liters of water per day. And that's in the Western countries. So if you're in Thailand, I'd be drinking that and then some. And yeah, I like my iced coffees, but in between my iced coffees, I'm drinking water, you know. So just one of the things to be aware of. Also, the other thing, during high season, here in Pattaya and Jomtien, you get a lot of traffic. You know, it's bumper to bumper in Pattaya. Not so bad in Jomtien, but it's also something to be aware of, you know. that it's quite hot out here, and you're going to be bumper to bumper traffic. So if you're in that bot bus and you're traveling around, don't forget, drink some water. And if you're feeling hot, you know, and a little bit run down, until you climatize to the weather, what you need to do is just jump somewhere cool. There's plenty of cafes here, like Starbucks and Amazon Coffee, and there's malls all along the beachfront, you know. In Pattaya, if you're in Pattaya, jump in some aircon, sit down, cool down, have a few glasses of water, and then go back out and enjoy the weather. Take it easy your first couple of weeks, because, you know, it is hot and it does take a little while to climatize. So something to be aware of. And here you go. I've walked about halfway down, and there you go. You can see the Jomtien slash Prachamak Hill Tower just there, that you may have seen in a video that we made, where we went down on the cable car, and it scared the bejeebies out of me. But this walk here is also right next to the water park. You might be able to see it here through the gate. It's a beautiful water park there. Plenty of water slides, and kids absolutely love it, and so do the adults. You got quite a lot of adults in there enjoying themselves as well. The downside of the tourist visa here in Thailand, is that, you know, the maximum you can stay on a tourist visa on one full stay, for those of you that might pick holes in it, is 90 days. And that's if you go and get a tourist visa online or through the Thai consulate or embassy where you live. You're going to get 90 days, but only 60 days of those are valid. And you can get a 30-day extension on top of it. Then what you have to do is do what we call a border run. And that can be a pain in the neck, going to the border and then coming back across. If you have the multiple entry tourist visa, what you can do then is you can, excuse me, loud motorbike, apologize for that. What you can do then is you do the same, but when you go out the country and come back in on a land crossing, you get another 60 days, as Mr. Singh said, if you get the 6-month multiple entry, and then you can extend it for another 30 days. That is one of the downsides, but the upside is the government is working on it. They put out in the news that they've now allowed the Russian people here to stay here on a 90-day visa on arrival. And from what I understand, it's a temporary thing for 6 months on a trial basis, but they're looking to make the same process for the West. And that's something that's going to be coming in very, very shortly. I think that the plan is, at the moment, from what I'm reading in the papers, is that they're looking to get that voted on in December. So a lot of good things happening here in Thailand. And just be aware that if you want to come here for 6 months, or maybe spend 6 months here and 6 months in your own country, that might be something that you have to consider doing. There are other options. You can get a 6-month education visa to learn Thai or Muay Thai. Quite a lot of other subjects that they thrown in there just recently: culinary, scuba diving. You know, it's a pretty extensive list. Just go onto the Thai immigration website and check it out for yourself. Also, yes, it's paradise, but there's still crimes. There are still crimes here in Thailand. You get bad apples, I guess, wherever you go. Is it as bad as the West? No, it's not, but there is still crime here. So just, you know, be careful. You know, if your warning signs go off and tell you, hey, you know, this person seems a little bit funny to me, then you're probably right, you know. Go along with what your conscience tells you, and try and stay away from those bad apples. And one thing we've done in Cooper's Thai Adventures is we're trying to build a community, and we built a Facebook group with over 500 people on there. You're more than welcome to join. Very easy, just hit the thumbs up and the subscribe button at the same time. And we get notified on our analytics. You're now a subscriber, and then go over to the Facebook group and join it there. We talk about things on there that we can't talk about on YouTube. So absolutely excellent group. Well, quite a lot of those that are already on there are out here and living in Thailand now and enjoying the good life, and they're helping answering your questions, and it's a great place to be, to make friends. So here we are. We are now at Prachumak. That didn't take too long at all. So what's the timer say on the camera? It says 21 minutes. There you go. That's how long it took me, and I'm taking a very slow walk, so the camera doesn't dance all over the place. But you can do this here very easily inside of 15 minutes. And also, using an agent. Why is it important to use an agent? Well, agents can speed up processes. There are people out there that are confident to do their own retirement visas, or to get their own Thai driver's license and things like that, and don't want to use an agent. So my hat's off to them if they want to do them. Why do I use an agent? Because at the end of the day, I want to make sure there's no mistakes. As the worst thing that could possibly happen to you in Thailand is if you become an overstayer. And people that overstay, they can actually end up in jail and even deported. So that's something that you really, really want to take seriously. And I'm not talking about 1 or 2 days overstay, because you made a mistake on the calendar, forgetting there's 31 days in a month or something like that. For that, if you're a 1 day overstayer, then there is a 500 baht fine at the airport that you pay. But you're really not going to get penalized for that. I'm talking about the serious overstayers that stay here for weeks or months illegally, maybe because they're partying too much, and they just forget all about it, you know? Forget about renewing the retirement visa or the education visa or whatever the case may be. Then you can end up getting into trouble. And that's one thing that you really, really want to avoid. And agents can help you a long way. I had an interview with Mr. Singh on Saturday, and one great service that he offers is if you get your visas through him, he'll get it back. He keeps your records on his computer, and he gets back out to you and he says, "Hey, Cooper, your retirement visa is about to expire. We need to get it in for renewal." You know, so you don't have to worry about putting a little pin on the board and doing it that way, you know, to remind yourself. And by the way, there we go. We are at the bottom of Prachumak Hill. So that is how close you are to the bot bus route. Very, very, very slow walk I took, 20 minutes, and I was right there at the bot bus route. At a normal walk without holding the camera, I'd probably do it in about 12 minutes. I'm not a speed walker, but take at a normal pace. Right now, for the ease of access, keep the camera steady. I'm going pretty slow. And the beach does go all the way down. So if you didn't want to take the walkway that I just took, you can walk along the beach with your feet in the water, walking down, chilling out, enjoying yourself. And well, you're going to get unwanted creatures wherever you live in the world. For me, out here, when I lived in Udon Thani, I saw snakes on a regular basis, and it really scared the bejeebies out of me. That is one of my biggest fears, is snakes. I absolutely hate snakes. And Probably because when I was a kid in Tucson, Arizona, helping my grandfather put some big boulders around the pool that he just had built at his house, I lifted up a big rock and there was a rattlesnake and it bit me on the hand, and just something I'll never forget. Maybe it's a fear that's been with me since then, all my childhood. I think I was 4 or 5 years old when it happens, but I can still remember it like it was yesterday. But here in the busy metropolitan areas like in Pattaya, Jomtien, Wongamat, so forth, you're not going to see any snakes around here. I haven't seen any yet. So that's one thing not to worry about. As far as any other creatures here, well, you get mosquitoes like you do in most places, but the mosquitoes here are really, really tiny and very hard to see. My eyes aren't perfect, but I struggle to see them. And you'll see them for maybe 1 second, and then all of a sudden you don't. The suckers are so dang quick. But they're not like the big mosquitoes that we get out in the West, because when they sting you, they, or bite you, whatever you want to call it, the itching, to me, only lasts a couple of minutes. I remember, getting bit in the West by mosquitoes, and they're like the size of a 10-cent piece, or a penny, for those in other countries with their currencies about that size. And when they bite you, guess what? It lasts the itch lasts for days, and you get a big bump on you. Here in Thailand, no. The mosquitoes here, they don't really bother me anymore, because you get that 5-minute itch and it goes away. And there's plenty of mosquito repellent you can get all over the place here in Thailand. Little pink bottles that with a picture of a mosquito on it. It's a lotion, smells like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like calamine lotion. And it keeps the mosquitoes away from you. And, it's great to have. Also, you can buy the little coils that are like incense. They sell them quite all over the place as well, including supermarkets and 7-Elevens. They work like incense. You light it, you blow out the fire, it smokes, and the mosquitoes absolutely hate it. And then there's little plug-ins that you can put in that are adapters into the wall if you're worried about getting mosquitoes in your home. It makes a sound of enemy of the mosquitoes, and they don't like that either. So when they hear that sound, they fly away quite quickly. And moving on to the last one, Thai face, and what is it? Well, that's a good one. Thai face. What is Thai face, and why is it so important to us as expats and the Thai people? Is Thai face is all about being polite, in my experience. And I welcome all the comments on here, because I'm sure I'm going to miss a couple. Is even if you're having a disagreement with someone, don't get rude, irate, lose your temper, or anything like that. Try and be polite, even though I know it's hard for us Westerners. We're not used to that. But if you smile, it goes a long way here in Thailand, because Thailand perceives you when you're smiling, even if you're upset, as that you're still a friendly sort of person. And I'll tell you one experience that happened to me and Darlene in Phuket. We'd rented a motorbike in the hotel that we were staying in, and right next to Walking Street in Phuket, where there was a police stop, and neither one of us were wearing a motorbike helmet, and there must have been 10, 15 Thais in front of us. Well, they singled us out and pulled us over, and I looked at the police officer with a big smile on my face, even though I was a little upset, and I said to him, "You only pulled me over because I'm a Farang. A Farang is a foreigner." And he looked back with the same smile on his face and said, "Yes." So, the end of the day, I got a ticket. I had to go to the police station and pay a fine, and I learned a valuable lesson. Don't always do as the Thais do, So just one thing that you have to consider here. those are today's topics. We've also got some great news coming out here on the channel very, very shortly that we're going to be announcing this week, as we feel that, you know, we like to go the extra mile for our subscribers and our viewers, and we've come up with a fantastic idea to go even further to help to support y'all that want to come out here either for vacation or retirement. And we think it's something that you guys are going to enjoy. And I can't tell you any more about it, as there's some legal ramifications involved that we're dealing with right now. And once that's all sorted, we'll put it out on the channel. So look out for that video later on this week, as we really want to go out of our way to make sure you have that absolutely fantastic experience when you first come into Thailand and your retirement. So we're working on a whole new avenue to help you all out, and we really hope that you appreciate it. And you know, we look forward to telling you all about it. I can't really say more than that, as I've been told not to, but it should all be done and dusted by Wednesday of this week. So look out for a video either Thursday, Friday, or maybe Saturday on our live stream. We may put it out then about what we're going to do to go even further for our channel. So thank you so much, wherever you are, for watching Cooper's Thai Adventures. God bless you. Take care and stay tuned.